guys, it's Katie here. This is my first vlog, just FYI, so please be patient with me and feel free to leave any suggestions that you have for me for my future vlogs. As my husband and I's first year anniversary is approaching, I thought I would share a few tips that I've learned along the way. So, number one, communicate. Communication is, I'm convinced, the key to a happy marriage, a happy relationship, whatever it be, whoever with, communication. Now, for those other brides or newlyweds that read 50 Shades of Grey within their first year of marriage, like I did, know that this is sometimes hard to understand, that men cannot read our minds, and we can live in fantasy land a little bit. So explain to them what you need, what you're looking for in your relationship. One thing that I found super helpful was reading one of Gary Chapman's books, The 5 Languages of Love. I found that I and my husband have very differing languages of love. Whereas I feel loved from words of affirmation and quality time. My husband, on the other hand, needs acts of service to feel loved and to feel thought of. So I truly recommend this book for all newlyweds or those getting married here soon. It has done wonders for our marriage. Number 2 is that keep in mind the honeymoon stage does eventually end, and that's okay. This was hard. Another thing that was hard for me to understand. It can be emotionally difficult and financially difficult. I found myself wanting to go on multiple vacations and excursions with my husband when that wasn't financially possible within our first year of marriage. By the way, we will be celebrating August 31st, so I'm not quite there, but I do feel that, although we're only 1 month off, I've learned quite a bit. Anticipate that feeling of euphoria that you get to enjoy on your honeymoon to wear off a little bit, and that's okay. It's just important to maintain a sense of excitement in the marriage. My husband, which I just adore that he does this, leaves sticky notes for me in the morning. Sometimes they're as bland as wake me up at 8 or wake me up before you go. But even then, I still look forward to getting out of bed and checking my nightstand to see if he's left me a note. Other times they're more romantic, like dinner will be ready for you when you get home. One thing I try to do for my husband is when on my way home from work, sometimes I like to stop and surprise him with a nice steak or, something that, so they know that you're thinking of them. And this just maintains the excitement that you feel on your honeymoon. Not the same, but it helps. It does help. Thirdly, one thing that I've learned as I come from a very tight-knit family, I've learned one thing that is so important to remember now that you're married is that your spouse is your family. Your spouse is your immediate family now. I know that in the first few months after we got married, if I had a hard day at work or I was struggling with one of my friends to who knows what. if one of my girlfriends and I were in a little tiff, I would call my mom still, and I would vent to her, and I'd get home and I'd feel much better. And so it's not always a bad thing to rely on your family members or friends for venting. Just know when it's appropriate, because I would get home and then my husband would hear a few days later that I was struggling with this, and he had no idea, and he just kind of felt out of the loop. And it goes the other way also. I would overhear him talking to his mom about something that happened at work, and it would bug me. I would think, hey, I'm your wife. I want to be the one that you go to now. So I definitely recommend going to them first, as long as it's appropriate. And never ever, big piece of advice, never ever vent to a friend or family member about your spouse. You are with this person for the rest of your life. Do not say a bad word about them unless it's in a joking manner, because you want them eventually long term to get along with them, and that's what's most important. Next, anticipate or get to learn your spouse's quirks. My husband is a huge clean freak, and I know that if when I get off work before him and get home, if I don't pick up the house prior to his arrival home, instead of enjoying a nice relaxing dinner, glass of wine, maybe an episode of our favorite show, I can look forward to spending the whole night cleaning. So get to know their quirks, and it'll save you grief in the future. Then lastly, but not least, marriage is a lifelong process, and you want to remember that it's not something that you do. Sorry, my computer light's turning off. It's not something that you do something for one day. You have a large, what's the word I'm looking for? You cannot ever set yourself up for happily ever after. You have to daily think of that person, and it's something that you have to get used to. But it's a constant motion. So don't ever stop. Always think of that person. Always keep them in mind. Always show them love. You can't ever do that enough, and doing it for one day isn't going to fill that need for the rest of their life. And I think that's where a lot of marriages end up struggling, because you do these avant-garde, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but you do something big for them, and then you feel like, okay, I'm off the hook now for a little bit. But that's not true. You have to do it. It's a daily process, so don't forget that. And I know I said last but not least, but really last but not least, don't forget to give thanks. And I think that that's something that's true in all facets of life. But always remember to thank your spouse and show them appreciation, and tell them how thankful you are to have them in their lives. And when you're having a hard day, think about why you married them, because there are going to be hard days. But if you can remember these things, more days than not will be happy. I do not pretend to be an expert here. As I said, it's only 11 months of marriage. We're approaching our 1 year. So I would be thrilled to get any advice or suggestions. Just leave them in the comment box below, and I would love to hear them. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.